This is going to be a quick little review of this comic. It is one of my favourite comics of all time. It is DC Comics Presents issue 29, Superman and the Spectre. Follow the ghostly Guardian and the Man of Steel on a journey into madness, where no Superman has gone before. And this is Superman, and that one there is the Spectre. This is part of a little run on the book by Lenny Wen, the creator of Wolfman from The Excellent Men, and Jim Starlin, the creator of Phineas and Dax. And it is a good run, and I think you should read it. Unfortunately, it hasn't been collected in a trade. There is one trade called Superman vs. Monk Boy, which has a lot of the issues in it, but it's missing a few, like this one isn't in it. And the reason this one isn't in it is because Monk Boy, he isn't in the story directly. But this does actually spin out of one of the issues in that collection. This is like the aftermath of a fight with Monk Boy. So it's a shame this one isn't in it, especially since it is a good little story. Superman, he is searching for Supergirl, because what has happened is, Monk Boy, there he is up there, he looks a bit like Phineas, doesn't he? He has captured Lois and Superman's friends. So Superman, he got into a fight with the Vision, and Monk Boy, he has this Death Star thing, so Superman and Supergirl went to destroy it. And Supergirl was the one who destroyed it, and she went missing afterwards. Superman can't find her. So now he's searching across the universe for her, and he is using maths to do so. And he starts going so fast that he starts breaking down the dimensional barriers, and he ends up in the very bonds of infinity. And this is like a classic Jim Starman kind of concept thing. And then Spectre shows up and stops Superman from flying around. And the thing is, if Superman, he goes any faster, he's going to start destroying the universe. So Spectre wants to stop him. But Superman, he just wants to find Supergirl. So him and Spectre end up having a fight. And Superman punches him, and Spectre doesn't even flinch. And then Superman punches him again with all his might. And Spectre still doesn't even move. And look at the ground, look at like a crater in the ground from the punch. And then Superman, he's still trying to fight and he's getting nowhere, so Spectre decides to pick him up and eat him, and then force Superman to relive like his greatest failures, like the destruction of his home planet and how he can't save his home planet. And then he is faced with his adoptive father and how he can't save him from death. And again, this is classic Jim Starman. He always liked drawing death like this. And Superman, he tries to fight death, but he can't save his father. And then finally, Superman has to fight his darker side. And this is kind of like a classic trope with these kinds of stories. And then finally, God shows up and he starts giving a lecture. And then we pretty much reach the end of the story, where Superman is like, well, if I go any faster, I'm destroying the universe, but I need to find Supergirl. What about Supergirl? Please, you've got to help me save my cousin. And then Spectre brings her out, and he's like, that was all you ever truly needed to do, my friend. Simply ask. And that is the end of the story. Superman and Supergirl are reunited. Next, Superman and Black Canary. I don't remember if this one is part of this run or if it's like a fill-in story. And then we have got a backup story. This is Whatever Happened to Mr. Midnight. Mr. Midnight is a member of the Justice Society of Superheroes. And he has an alright design, but I don't like him because he spells it midnight. I really hate that. I really hate when characters, they have incorrect names. And Mr. Midnight is a big culprit of that. What is happening is, this is like him in his old age. He's starting to lose his eyesight, but he's still trying to be a hero. And what happens is, his friend, who is an optician, that is like his confidant. Like some people, they tell the police detective or the mayor. But Mr. Midnight, he told his optician, so that is unique. His optician gets killed. And Mr. Midnight, he goes to investigate, and he manages to track down a killer when he's trying to burglarize a house. And after bringing that guy to justice, he decides that he has to retire as Mr. Midnight because he is blind. Next issue, Whatever Happened to the Pratt? This is a good comic. I wanted to review it because this is the comic that introduced me to the Spectre, and he became my favourite DC character. And this is a good story for him. It really shows how powerful he is when he is fighting Superman, and it's like not affecting him at all. And it also shows that he's like a force of nature, like he is part of the cosmic scheme of the universe, and I really like that. I think this is a fantastic introduction to the character, and a good Superman story too. The whole run really is really good, but this is the only one with the Spectre in it. I've got some more of that run, and I'll eventually get around to reviewing it. Like, there is one that introduces Starman, and that one's good. And there is one with the Legion of Superheroes. That one is good. They're all good, actually. It's a really good run. I recommend you go and read it. This comic, though, this is kind of like my favourite one of the run, because it introduced me to my favourite DC character. So I'm going to rate this one easily 7 thumbs up.